It was my job when Colin Kaepernick first took a knee at the San Francisco 49ers. The owner of the 49ers, Jed York, the managing owner, came to me and said, "Okay, Doc, this is your horse. We got to deal with this, and you manage this," because that's what I did over the years. And my response to him was, "Don't worry about it. We got this. We're not only going to come out of it, we're going to come out of it better. Everybody's going to come out of this all right." In point of fact, has been exactly that. I mean, Colin Kaepernick was voted the Lynn Ashmont Award as the most inspirational, courageous, and high character guy in the building. Highest award that the 49ers allow. His departure from the 49ers was a football decision, not a political decision. The league still is asking, how did you all manage that in such a way that it didn't blow up in your faces? So there were a lot of good things that came out of it, but we could see this coming. This was inevitable. And as I told Roger Goodell early on this last football season, in the era of Trump, you've got to manage intelligently and effectively those things that you can neither avoid nor eliminate. And I'm quite certain that the distance between Colin Kaepernick and Trump may have looked like eons, light years, but it was crystal clear to me, based on my own understanding of the dynamics at the interface of sport, race, and politics. You know, you hear about this stuff about Trump being he's a counterpuncher. You hit him, he's going to hit you 10 times as hard. He's not a counterpuncher. He's a sucker puncher. I mean, he sucker punched the owners. They went out and supported him. 7 of them gave him $1 million apiece and everything. And then he turns around and says, unless they fire somebody who's taking a knee, boycott their football games. Now the owner is stuck between siding with Trump. And let's be honest, the neo-Nazis and the alt-right and the white supremacists and KKK and people who are marching in Charlottesville are siding with his team, his guys. And he knows the minute that he stands up and say, I agree with Trump, who is calling athletes who take a knee over the killing and murder that's going on in this society and the communities of people of color, the minute he says that, he signed his last free agent, because no free agent is going to say, yeah, I'm going to go and work for that guy. He may even not be able to sign his draft pick. And so 10 days ago, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, said anybody who takes a knee during a football game in my franchise is no longer a Cowboy. That will not be tolerated. Guess what happened last night? Jerry Jones was down taking a knee. Why? Because the sucker puncher in chief put the owners in that position, sucker punched them, and then threw them under the bus. And so they had no choice. And now teams across the league are taking knees, protesting, and so forth. And as I told Roger Goodell, the challenge of the league is to move them from protest to progress. It's one thing to dramatize your concerns. It's another thing to go out into the community every day and sit down and work with people to make those things right. The kind of thing that's been going on here at San Jose State, the barbershop conversations where police and people from the community sit down and have conversations about what's going on in the community. So when that cop sees that kid out there on the street, he know, oh yeah, that's that Johnson boy. Come here, young man, you shouldn't be standing out here. You see all that dope selling that's going on up there, you going on home. As opposed to get him, throw him in the car, and then we're gonna go get them other 3, and you got a situation going. So this whole thing that we see now was predictable. This was inevitably going to happen in the era of Trump. When he was elected, I said that he was going to be bull in a china shop, because he had no knowledge of institutions, he had no understanding of the presidency, he had no notion of the separation of powers. And you know what? I had to, like I told the New York Times yesterday, I was completely wrong. I was dead wrong. He's not a bull in a china shop. He's a bull in a porta potty at the end of a 3-day prune festival. Every move he makes, somebody got to go in behind him and clean the mess up. And that's going to continue.